Hello and welcome. This is episode 29 of the Inferno. Welcome, everybody. If you are new here today, this is where we discuss the importance of feeding the good wolf, because we all have choice as a free will human being to balance ourselves out, feed the good wolf, and not buy into the temptations of the flesh. So, this episode tonight is for those that have been betrayed, and mostly talking about a significant other. It can be relatable as well with, any relationship in your life. So it's basically the topic of betrayal. But if you are now in the aftermath of being betrayed or left by a toxic person, by an unhealthy person, I just want to tell you tonight, the title is, and this goes man or woman, but I speak mostly of a male betrayer, is a real man cannot be stolen from you. And I'm going to write real in capital letters as I title this. Anyone, man or woman, that isn't adult enough to come to you and, just maybe part ways in a healthy way, and they're betraying you through infidelity, whether it be emotional, physical, stepping out on their partner, lacks spiritual maturity. Because somebody that is spiritually mature knows the ripple effect that when you do harm to others, you're actually harming yourself. So if you have been in a relationship that you've been betrayed to this degree, just know this, that if they were a true man or a true woman, there's not even an ounce of opportunity for them to be stolen. So whoever they've bounced off to, especially if that other person knows that they were in a marriage or a relationship, just know that that's the vibration that they're in. So it's almost like the trash taking itself out. There's no boundaries with either person. Somebody who is spiritually immature and puts their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health that far out of alignment is not worthy of being with somebody who is on the path and knows the importance of their spiritual maturity as our time here on earth. So in the Bible, it even talks about what a real man is. And in my instance, we'll talk about a husband. What a real man is somebody who is full of integrity, somebody who is the spiritual leader in the home, supposed to be, somebody who has a sexual purity about them, somebody who's honest. And if you have been with a betrayer, male or female, and they're willing to have no self-control, then they're not worthy of being with you on your journey. So that next person that perhaps was enmeshed with this partner of yours, who willingly was able to open their legs, to open their house, to dabble in to infidelity or adultery with your partner, maybe there's some karma there for the both of them, and that's for them. And maybe you're no longer going to be the buffer for that. Because a real man or real woman can't be stolen from you. A real man knows their spiritual leadership within the home. A real man has self-control, integrity, honesty, and loyalty. And if you are not serving God, creator, source, and you just go with the flesh alone, they're not worthy of your time. I know betrayal is very painful. But in all honesty, in the bigger picture, they lack that spiritual maturity of knowing that by getting one over on you is actually getting one over on themselves. So self-control is one part of the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And it talks about that in Galatians 5:22 and 23. I went in and read some of that, and I went, of course, before that and after that. And it talks about, a man of just the flesh silences their inner voice, the Holy Spirit that's right there for them if they so choose to connect with it. And you will know them by their fruits. So somebody who's not tethered to the divine, somebody who ignores the Holy Spirit and is just living and walking in the flesh, will easily betray you because they betray themselves as well. So go ahead and read some of that if you'd like to. This is going to be a real short one. And this is for you on your healing journey. If you've been betrayed, if somebody has, quote, stolen your man or woman from you, they're not a real man and not a real woman. Because somebody who's got the spiritual maturity cannot be stolen by somebody else in the flesh. It should be God first for them, and then their wives, so to speak, or husbands. Even if this was a long-term relationship and you were not married, again, I know the betrayal is painful, but anything that is for you cannot be stolen from you. And so allow that new person to think they won something, but as long as that narcissist or toxic cheater has unresolved issues, because a lot of times they will disengage and move away from you without any kind of closure, without any kind of mature conversation as a woman to man, heart to heart, which all narcissists and all toxic people do. They just ghost and jump off, call it the monkey branch to somebody else. They're walking around, and I'm going to give my girl China credit for this as well. It was something I was thinking about as well, but she spoke it tonight too. They just go from person to person with a bunch of unresolved within them, but it really started in their childhood. So from Ephesians 5:25, here are the duties of a real man. And this is how you will know if you're not with a real man, is that they are a cheater and a betrayer. It's super simple to see. You will know them by their fruits. A husband's main responsibility is to love your wife. Ephesians 5:28, a man who loves his wife also loves himself. The verse also highlights the mutual respect and nurturing that should define a marriage, which is spiritual leadership, which is to be a protector, which is to be a laborer. Because you know what? I'm not into the new age thing of, I'm a woman, I want to be just exactly equal to you. And in a spiritual sense, you're absolutely right, I am. And as far as the physical and the laborer, oh, you absolutely spot on that this little 105-pound chick doesn't have a problem getting down and dirty and doing some labor. But in all actuality, there are things that I cannot do as a woman that a man can do. And if you have a real man, he will labor for you with no second thought. If you have a real man, he will be able to sit with you in spiritual leadership through communion with the Holy Spirit to elevate you, to have a respect and reverence for you. And this goes either way. Like I said, if you're a male tuned in to listen, same goes for the woman. Except for we're not supposed to, as a woman, have the leadership role, especially when it comes to labor and whatnot. There are things as a female that I cannot do, that a man was provided by God to do for us. So if you have somebody in your life that their sexual purity is tainted by infidelity, by lying, deceiving, and betrayal, they're not a man of spiritual leadership for you. Nobody stole this person from you. They lack self-control. They lack spiritual maturity. And so they will go back to a vibration of what they truly are. Because really all a narcissist does is gather characteristic traits from all the people they encounter, whether it be past flings. We won't call them relationships because they're never equally yoked as God intended relationships and marriages to be. They gather those character traits. And one of the episodes that I intend on doing, which I already wrote down for that came to me, is just about that. How you end up knowing once you're awakened, once you see things for what they truly are and you come out of the narcissistic fog, the PTSD lessens, the anxiety lessens when the farther they get away from you, the more you detach that soul tie that's toxic, you will see them for what they truly are. That gives you closure. That gives you closure. That gives you an understanding and an understanding of you will know them by their fruits. There are no healthy relationships with a narcissist and a third party because they do not have a healthy relationship with themselves. So there we go, because I lost my train of thought. The note that I kind of scribbled down to myself, because that's how I end up doing these, is through, first of all, life experience. I've been through it, and I'm healing and rising out of it, and clearer and less anxiety, less health issues. You'll end up seeing them and understanding them more than they understand themselves, because they run from themselves. They think they're running from you. They run into alcohol. They run into their escape, which is always seeking outside of themselves. So I just want to remind you today, any real man, any real woman cannot be stolen from you. I hope you're well on your healing journey. If you're new to this and you're newly into this awareness of an awakening of coming out the other side of somebody that betrayed you so deeply that every strike that they thought they were striking against you, it comes back to them. What does it say in the Bible? Sevenfold? No spiritual wise man or woman would betray, would lie, cheat, and disrespect you if they truly understand and understood who they are. Not the fake facades, not just a person walking around in a body, but a spiritual being. So I'm going to leave it at that today, very short and to the point. Remember this: no real man can be stolen from you. Take your time on your healing journey. Be gentle with yourself. Get counseling. Seek spiritual counsel. And you will always know those, because the fruits of their labor will show who they are. Much love to you. Until the next time. Shalom, shalom.